Hi, it's October 31st, Halloween. But you know what else it is? The day before NaNoWriMo! So I thought, for my first NaNoWriMo video, I would read to you the first chapter of my NaNoWriMo book, because it's actually already like 37,000 words, so I'll be finishing it this month, which I'm super excited about. I'm slightly nervous that I'm going to finish it before I reach 50,000 words, because 50,000 words will put my first draft at 87,000 words, which is a little bit longer than most first drafts, especially when it's like just like a realistic contemporary, which this is. But we're going to try. And if I finish it before I reach 50,000, I might just start something new, or maybe try and add stuff into previous scenes or something like that. But anyway, I love it. I think it's so fun and cute. So I thought I'd read to you the first chapter. Okay. This is my third time trying to film this, so third time's a charm, hopefully. Chapter 1. So that's a yes? He asks, his eyes piercing into mine. They're soft, a quiet brown that reminds me of homemade chocolate or melting icing on a warm cake. I shake my head, trying to stop making these stupid analogies that I always make when I'm around him. No, I reply with a snort. It's a no. A definite no. 100 times no. Why not? He steps closer to me and I don't step back. Because it's him. I can't help it. I don't want a boyfriend, I say. That's exactly why you should say yes. No one will even try to date you if they think you're dating me. It's perfect for both of us. I bite my bottom lip and look up at him, into his eyes, at his mischievous smirk that's familiar from interviews and blooper reels I've seen. I let out a deep breath, and his smile changes to something more hopeful, full of something deeper. Fine, I say. He shakes his head. No, I need more than a fine. I want you to do this with me, but I need you to actually want to. I don't know what I want, I reply quickly. But what's the worst that can happen? His mischievous grin is back. Surely nothing that bad. This is an excellent idea. I have excellent ideas. He holds out his hand to shake, and I grab a hold of it. Not entirely sure how I just agreed to pretend to date one of the most well-known sitcom stars of the decade. Of course, this isn't a good idea. Okay, sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. That's too late into the story. Let's rewind. I can't do this anymore, Claire says. Someone just asked me if the mushrooms on the pizza are cooked. Like, no, we just cook the pizza and then throw some raw mushrooms on it after it comes out of the oven. I smirk at her and shrug. At least I didn't throw your salad at you because there wasn't enough dressing on it. When did that happen? Claire's mouth drops open and follows me into the back room. Last night, I can't handle this place anymore either. Why am I still a server, Claire? I'm 27 years old. You're 29, she says, narrowing her eyes at me. Shit, I forgot you knew that. But see, this is my point. I'm lying about my age to feel better about myself because I'm still a server. I'm almost 30, Claire. 30. And I work in a pizza restaurant. To be fair, it is a fancy pizza restaurant. We have cloth napkins and fancy cocktails. And fancy pizza, I add, rolling my eyes. Yes, fancy pizza. It's better than not working in a fast food pizza restaurant. True. But still, this is not where I wanted to be when I was 30. 29. I smile at her and head back out into the restaurant. This is why I like you, Claire. Okay, sorry. We're going to have to go back a little farther. I keep thinking I'm starting the story at the right place, but then I feel like I keep leaving out important information. My eyelids are actually swollen. I didn't know that was a thing. I've read books that mention swollen eyelids from people crying so much, and I always thought it was an exaggeration, but I guess not. Because I'm staring at myself in the mirror, and my eyelids are definitely swollen. I look terrible. I'm not sure if I've ever actually cried this much before. I guess that's why I didn't know about the swollen eyelid thing. I keep not going back far enough. I really don't want to relive it, to be honest. I mean, it's not like it was the worst thing in the world, but to me, it was kind of the worst thing in the world. I'm not some drama queen, I promise you, and I'm not one of those people who just absolutely needs a man in her life, but if we're continuing to be honest, I guess I'll just say that I thought I was going to have this particular man in my life. Like, for the rest of my life. Okay, we're gonna go back a bit farther so I can tell you about it. This won't be fun for me, but I guess it's needed to set the story. Ugh, here we go. Tyler comes home quiet. I try to ask him about his day, but he just shrugs like he did the last 3 days and heads into the living room. What's his problem? Seriously, if anyone should be in a bad mood, it should be me, since he hasn't so much as kissed me in the last 2 weeks. Tyler, what's up? I ask. Nothing. It can't be nothing, I say. Does something happen at work? And this is when I feel it happening. I've felt it coming for a while. It's weird, knowing someone is about to break up with you, even before they say it. It's weird, knowing that someone has fallen out of love with you, but not wanting it to be true, pretending it's not happening, letting the question burn in the back of your head for 2 months because you know if you say it out loud, they'll tell you that you're right. The last 8 years of your life are over as you know it, just like that. I know this is what's happening before he even opens his mouth. Because the look he gives me, the sigh that he makes, the way his shoulders slump, I can just feel it. I don't want us to be together anymore. There it is. The one sentence that will continue to haunt me throughout most of the story. It keeps coming back to this one sentence. It keeps replaying in my head when I've got nothing better to do, which, let's face it, is most of the time. All the damn time, actually. I don't want us to be together anymore. Done. Just like that. I nod my head and sit down on the couch. The couch that we picked out together, because we were going to be together forever. Now that it's out in the open, I guess I can ask the question that I've been too afraid to ask. Too afraid to ask because I knew the answer anyway. Do you not love me anymore? I managed to squeak out. He runs his hand over his face and looks at me with a pain I think I feel in my chest. There are tears in his eyes. I think I'll always love you, Isla, but am I in love with you? He shakes his head and lets out a long breath. No, I don't think I have been for a while. Okay, that's all you need to know. I was with Tyler for 8, almost 9 years, and we were going to spend the rest of our lives together. And then he didn't love me anymore. Fast forward to me crying so much that I discovered the Swollen Island thing, and I guess we'll just skip over me moving out and finding a new apartment and not keeping the couches we picked out because they're so massive they surely won't fit in any apartment I can afford. And we'll skip a few months into the future where I appear to be okay on the outside, but on the inside, I still die a little because on the inside I have thoughts, and my thoughts keep repeating to me that one sentence that started the end of my life. I don't want us to be together anymore. Yes, let's keep going. 7 months into the future. I can't do this anymore, Claire says. Someone just asked me if the mushrooms on the pizza are cooked. Like, no, we just cook the pizza and then throw some raw mushrooms on top after it comes out of the oven. Whoops, we covered this already. Okay, sorry, I'm not good at this. I smile at her and head back out into the restaurant. This is why I like you, Claire. Isla, Tom, my boss, says, catching my attention. How many tables are you covering right now? Just one, I say. It is 2:30 in the afternoon after all. Not many people come in for fancy pizza in the middle of the day. Okay, great, I have a job for you. Claire can finish your table, right? I shrug and follow him into the back room, waving at Claire to come with us so I can let her know what's happening. What's happening? She asks. I don't know, I say, but apparently you're covering my table. Oh, all right, well, I guess we'll go make sure everything's okay with them. She smiles and leaves. The people who were catering the movie had to back out for the next 2 days, my boss says to me. There was a family emergency or something, so the movie people asked us to cater. Isn't that exciting? Yeah. Is the restaurant going to be in the credits? I ask. I never even thought of that. I hope so. Anyway, can you bring the pizza over for me? You want me to deliver pizza? To the movie set, Isla. Yeah, right, okay. But, like, isn't that main guy from that TV show going to be there? I don't know who you're talking about. Logan Jackson? I say, trying to sound like I don't care who it is, or that maybe I'm not even sure that's what his name is. But I know. Oh, I know. When he doesn't respond with a look of recognition, I add, from Neighborly? He still looks at me like a deer caught in the headlights. The TV show? It's on cable and Netflix, and it's super popular. There's no way you haven't heard of it. All I know is they chose our small town to film a big fancy movie, and they're going to eat my pizza, and you're going to bring it to them. I also got the guys to prepare salads and baked brie with baguette. Wow, you're going all out, I say. Well, I want them to enjoy it. Anyway, you can take everything over. I've got them in these warming dishes, and all you have to do is light the dish burners under them to keep everything warm, and then bring all the dishes back. You can leave the leftovers, they said. What do I do while they're eating? I don't know. Hang out? I'm sure you can eat a little. You need a break, too. And before I know it, he's helping me load my hatchback with big black cases which hold the food that I'm going to be bringing to a movie set. I toss the warming cans on the passenger seat and start to drive over to the set. Oh, my fingers shake against the steering wheel as I follow the instructions Tom gave me, and I slowly drive through the alley behind the restaurant and other businesses that line the main street. I pull up to the back door of the community center, where the movie people have set up their offices and resting rooms, holding, they apparently call it. I hope I'm okay to just leave my car in front of the door while I unload everything, because that's what I'm doing. I have to take 3 trips down the stairs and into the room they're using to eat. And once I've got everything unloaded and on the counter, I go move my car. I hope the director doesn't walk in while I'm gone and think I'm just going to leave everything like that. I drive around the parking lot a couple times, trying to find a spot, and I finally back into a space and then run inside. There are already a few people flowing in when I get back, and I can feel my nerves shooting up my arms and down my fingertips. They're going to be famous people in here soon. "You must be from Carter's," a woman says from behind me. I'm in the middle of pulling a catering tray out of the big container thing, and I startle, almost dropping it. "Yes, I'm Isla. I'm just a server at Carter's. Tom Carter. He's the owner, but he's not here. It's just me." The woman smiles at me and holds out her hand. She's tall, taller than me, and her dark hair is pulled back into a messy bun. "Awesome to meet you, Isla. I'm Zoe, the director." I shake her hand and try not to choke on my words. "Cool. I'm just bringing the pizza." She laughs a little. "I really appreciate you guys putting this together for us on such short notice. But the other place that was catering for us, Chives, they had a family emergency, and they're closing for a few days. Their food is awesome, and they recommended you guys when they told us. I'll let you finish setting up, but feel free to stay and eat with us if you don't have to go back right away." "Thanks," I say, feeling a little intimidated. She doesn't look that much older than me. And she's directing a movie? A movie starring Logan Jackson? I can't. I light the food warmer cans under the catering trays and almost place one under the salads, but blow it out and set it aside after I realize that I'm an idiot. It looks good. And more people are coming in. Is Logan Jackson going to be in here? Eating? In the same room as me? I grab a slice of garlic bacon pizza, my favorite, and dunk a few pieces of bread into the brie before placing them on my paper plate, and head over to a table in the middle of the room away from any of the other people already sitting and eating. The director, Zoe, smiles and nods at me from across the room, and I smile back and shove as much pizza into my mouth as I can because I don't know what else to do. "Oh wow, this pizza looks fancy," I hear a familiar voice say. My heart starts to pound, and I swallow my current bite of bread and melty cheese, afraid to turn around and see the person I know is standing almost directly behind me. "It's awesome," someone from Zoe's table says. "Try the garlic bacon one, it's amazing." "Oh, I'm taking a slice of each one," Logan Jackson replies. I still haven't turned around, but I know it's him. Logan Jackson is about to eat the pizza that I drove over in my car. Logan Jackson. Logan Jackson. The star of Neighborly, the show critics call the new Friends. I mean, it's like Friends in concept, like it's about 6 usually single people who live in the same apartment building and hang out in a coffee shop nearby, and all the characters are lovable and funny and relatable, and except the jokes and storylines are more modern and accepting. "Hey, you're the one who brought the pizza." Logan Jackson sits next to me at the table and I almost choke. How do you know?" I ask. "Well, you're wearing a cute shirt that says Carter's, and those catering containers have a logo on them that say Carter's, and I'm pretty smart, so I put the two together." He winks at me, and I die a little inside. Then yes, it's me. He smiles at me, and I just stare at him, with my mouth gaping open, I'm sure. I want to add something else, something cool, so I say, "I brought food." Jesus Christ, what is wrong with me? "Well, this pizza's awesome." I smile and give him a thumbs up, because I'm just so smooth. And then he gets up and moves to another table, bringing his pizza with him. Okay, let's pause here. I'm sure you're wondering how I went from being a bumbling idiot to Logan fucking Jackson asking me to be his pretend girlfriend, and I'll tell you. We'll get there, but it's gonna take a little time. I had to tell you about my breakup first because I'm not gonna lie to you, it will come up again. It'll come up a lot, actually, and I want to say that I'm sorry about it, but, I don't think I am. Also because from the sadness comes something good. Like Logan fucking Jackson wanting me to be his pretend girlfriend. And we'll get there, I promise. We'll get there and keep going, my friends. I just started the story with that conversation because I wanted to get your attention.